The highlight, Justin Gaethje,
Yes, sir.
looking for another highlight, UFC 300, yourself, Max Holloway. And I know you had the championship belt in your sights at the lightweight division. What convinced you to take this fight?
Well, they announced the Oliveira-Sarukian fight, and they called it a title eliminator. And so there's only one way to make sure that doesn't happen. That's get on the card and stand out. All four of us have an opportunity to be the clear contender, and I think two contenders will be coming out of that night. Me, one of them, and whoever wins between Sarukian and Oliveira. Who fights him next? I think he's going to fight twice this year. So hopefully both of us, both winners, fight him this year.
Islam Makhachev was saying he wanted to fight, I think it was in June and then again in October. So even if it ends up not being you, you still expect that by the end of the year you're going to have another title shot?
Yeah, June or October. You know, everything depends on April 13th. My life does not exist after that day right now. Got the best manager in the world, and the champion is calling me out, so I don't see why that would not happen.
Max Holloway, is this somebody that you ever envisioned yourself fighting?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, there's so many guys in lightweight, I don't necessarily go around looking at other weight classes for guys to fight. But, you know, I've been a huge fan of Max since day one. 2012, he's younger than me, but so it sounds weird to say that someone I was looking and watching as I was, you know, aiming to be in the UFC one day. But he's a guy that I watched, you know, excitedly every single time he stepped in there. He's very consistent, maybe the second most consistent ever, second to me. And you put us both in there, UFC 300 for the BMF belt. This is, there's no doubt this is going to be the best fight of the night. Two most consistent guys ever.
Yeah, you look at Max, and like you said, he started very young. And the amount of accolades that he racked up early in his career, I don't think we've seen a lot of fighters, short of maybe like John Jones, do that at such a young age.
No, again, I grew up watching this guy. It sounds weird because I'm older than him, but you know, 2012, I just turned pro. I just didn't even imagine being in the UFC at that time. I just wanted to fight. You know, I just wanted to learn. And to have be around a guy like Max, you know, first and foremost, super respectful, honest, normal guy. The more UFC fighters I met, the more I believed that this was something that I could chase, because they're not special, they're just good people. He's a good, hard-working dude from the islands, representing his family, his country, or not his country, his state. And you know, he's been a guy, like I said, I've been watching him since day one. He's sure Hall of Famer, so it's perfect for my legacy. You've
talked to me over the years about the amount of wars that you have left that you want to have before your career ends. What's that number at right now? Because this was a couple years ago.
That was after I fought Poirier the first time. So
what was that number?
I said 5? I would say the Oliveira one is the only one that constitutes a war. Me taking a lot of damage. Outside that, I think I got 4 left.
Yeah, how does it feel when you go into a fight with Dustin Poirier that people expect to be a war, and you got to win such an exclamation point victory like that, and then you don't have to check that box off for the wars you've had?
No, it's absolutely amazing. There's nothing better than that. To come out unscathed in this sport is something that we would pay a lot of money for, you know, and you know, obviously the less times that happens, the longer this lasts. They don't start paying you till the end, and so you want to make it there, and then you want to be able to sustain, preserve yourself through that. And so they're paying me the most now, and since that, Poirier did such a good job at teaching me a really, really life lesson. I have to worry about myself. I never worried about myself. I never cared about myself. And so now when I go in there, I'm conscious that I can't take damage. I can't take shots. I got to focus on seeing shots. And I think that's a huge difference in my fighting. And that's why I've only had one of those fights since that day.
Well, I'm sure you want to promote this fight as being a war, but I'm sure you also are very confident in your ability. So what percentage chance do you think this ends up being a war versus a very clean, easy victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have a different definition of war. I think there's a good chance that we're both going to take some damage. Hopefully neither one of us take chronic damage, but we're going to be trying to inflict that on each other. I love this game because anything, any moment. I plan for a war. I prepare for a war. And if I knock him out in the second round like I did Poirier and I surprise myself, then there's no better feeling than that. It can't be matched.
Well, we're excited for it as well. As excited as you are, I'm sure all the fans watching the sport can't wait for this one. Yourself, Max Holloway, the BMF Championship, UFC 300. Thanks for this, Justin.
Sir, best live show on earth, guaranteed.